Hi guys, good morning and good evening. I hope you're able to hear me. Can anyone please confirm? Okay, perfect, all right. Okay, so I'm just setting up Azure Data Factory and storage account, and then I'll talk about a few more transformations. Let's create a data factory. So let me create a resource group, Bhaskar-dev. It's already there. Okay, then wait a moment. So if it is already available, I'll use that. Okay, only resource group is there, no services, that's fine. Let's create. So I wanted to use the existing resource group. The name of the data factory is ADF Bhaskar 123. Let's go for Central India. Review plus create. And create. So let me create a storage account also. Bhaskar ADLS Gen2. Local redundant. And I'm just checking this. Enable hierarchical namespace. Review plus create. Data factory is ready. Let's launch this. Okay, so let it be great. And I'll talk about theoretical points here. The next transformation we are going to say is joint transformation. So why we need to go for joint transformation? If you remember, we came across this kind of requirement in a SQL Server. How we can do apply joinings like inner join, left outer, right outer, full outer, and cross join, how we can do it. And when we can use the inner join, when we can use the cross join also, I explained in a more in detail even in SQL. Okay. So here also I'm going to take you through how exactly we can do it. In SQL, we used to write a code completely. We have to write a code, whereas here we don't require to write a code. Okay. So the similar kind of requirement we can do if transformation is used to join transformation is used to combine the data. So join transformation is used to combine the data if the data is coming from more than one data source or more than one different table. So if it is coming from more than one table, then definitely we are going to have a data combine. So how do we know there is a data combining? We can feel if data is coming from more than one table or more than one data source, definitely there will be data combine. Okay, so in that case, we are going to use this join transformation. Horizontal combine. Okay, so let's say one table is coming from this side, another table is coming from another side. So two tables are going to join something like this. So side by side, this is a table 1 and this is a table 2, it is going to get. So this kind of joining, we can say horizontal joining or horizontal combining or merging, we can say. So it is used to combine the data if the data is coming from more than one table. So when the moment you see the requirement, you can feel is data coming data coming from more than one table or not. So we can join maximum two tables at one shot. So that means if there is a n number of tables, if there is a n number of tables, then there will be n minus 1 joins will be there. If I have a 10 tables, 10 minus 1, 9 joins will be there. That means 9 join transformations you have to use it. So that we are going to see. So that's what I'm saying. If you have a n number of tables, then you should use n minus 1 join transformations. If you have a n number of tables, then there should be n minus 1 join transformations. Okay. So if the two tables are having, when we can use this join transformation is if the tables are having different structure and different kind of data. When there is a when the tables are having when you have a two tables, if two tables are having different structure and different kind of data. So what I mean by different structure and different kind of data is when you see the two tables, you can feel the columns will be different between the two tables. The number of columns are when you see the column structure, you can understand the column structure is different and the different kind of data. So one table is going to have one specific type of data, another table will be having another specific type of data. So when the moment you say that, you can feel that is different kind of data, it's not the same kind of data. So if you have a same kind of data, how we can do it, we'll see that later. But here I wanted to show you, if you have a different structure and different kind of data, how we can use this join transformation, we're going to see. And when you use this join transformation, 100% there should be a common column between the two tables. That is another point you need to keep in mind. Even in SQL Server also same. Wherever you go, join concept is very much simpler. Even we are going to touch this in the Databricks. Okay, so Databricks also does the same thing. Same points. Only thing is there we are going to write a code. And here we are going to do with completely user interface. And common column should have the same kind of data. So whatever the common column you are thinking, that common column should have the same kind of data. So then only we can say it. Okay. Just give me a moment. Just 1 minute. I'll be back. Okay. So I have two tables here. Okay. So two files are there. One is employee file and the other is department file. Employee.txt and department.txt. So here I have a few records here. Employee number, employee name, salary, gender, and department number. I have a department table also here, department number and department name, and where it is located, I have a few details here. So when I apply inner join, what happens or what kind of records you are going to get, that I wanted to show you. I don't think this will come. Okay, so this is, I'm just saying this is a employee. In the same way, I have a department also. I'm just going to take a department as well. Oh my God. Okay, perfect. And this is going to be, let me take a different color here. Department. So I have an employee table and department table. Now, if I join these two tables, what kind of output you are going to get? I'm just going to give an idea here. Okay, so that we can get better clarity. If I wanted to see the people who are working in which department, if you wanted to know it, then employee details are available in this particular table, and this table is having a different kind of, this is different kind of table. So the structure of these two tables, if we clearly observe here, this is employee table and this is a department table. Just observe the structure of these two tables. You can see here. This is a structure here, and structure of the department table is this. So when the moment you see the column names or the number of columns, if you see, you can feel these two are different. You cannot feel both are same. So that is what the different structure. A different kind of data means here I'm having a employee details data, but here I'm having a department details data. So two tables are having different set of data or different kind of data. So if we have this kind of situation and requirement, then we are going to use join transformation. So join transformation is having four different types of joins. Join transformation is having four different types of joins. You can see inner join. So what happens if I apply inner join? What happens if we apply inner join? It is going to give only matching records between the two tables. It is going to give matching records between the two tables. So what are the matching records you are going to get? So 10 is having, like here to match this, to join these two tables, we required common column. We don't require primary key, we don't require foreign key here. So if you wanted to join the two tables, even in SQL Server, wherever it is, if you want to join the two tables, we don't require a primary key, we don't require a foreign key. We require common column. So if you have a common column between the two tables, you can join the two tables. So here the common column is the department number from the employee table and department number from the department table. Now I wanted to join these two tables. When you join, if it is an inner join, it is going to give only matching records between the two tables. So here I have a 10 and here also I have a 10. So it is going to give the department name and location. Okay, so something like this. Let me show you here itself. So my requirement output is something like this: EMP ID, e-name, salary, gender, day number, day name, and location. So when you go for this, for first record there is a matching. Department number 10 is available in the second table. So it is going to give location, department name and location. For second record, you have a matching or not. So for 102, there is a 20. So 20 is having the details. This is 20. And next record 30. 30 also we have it. But 30 is having the details. Yes, you can take it. And next employee is 104. 104 is not having the department number. So department number 50 is required, but 50 is not available here in this place. So if it is not available, what happens is it is going to give the null and null. If you remember, we talked about this requirement in the SQL Server. I hope everyone is following. The same thing I'm just repeating. So this, no, this will not come. This is for inner join. So inner join gives only matching records between the two tables. Inner join gives only matching records between the two tables. So let's go and do practically how exactly it is going to be happen so that you can get better clarity about it. So I wanted to upload these two files into the Azure Data Lake Storage Center. I hope it is created. Let's go and see. It is created. Go to resource, containers, data files, Inside the data files, I'm just going to have a input directory. Inside the same data files, let me keep output directory. Let me upload the file. Joins department and employee. I have these two files. So link service we require to create it. Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2. Link service underscore ADLS. Let's say Bhaskar ADLS Gen2. Let's take a storage account name and make a test connection. Create it. And I'm just going to create a data flow here. A new data flow. df underscore join transformation. Let's switch on this. And give this for target. Underscore join and just say, or let's say inner. So here we're going to use the transformation called join transformation. Okay, so let's go back to your data factory. Yeah, it is started. Now I wanted to read the data from these two places. Let's add a source. Source is SRC employee. Delimited text. Let's take a link service. Let's browse the file. Data files, input folder, employee.txt. Go to your projection. Something is missing still. First as a header. Now it is available. Let's import it. So everything is perfectly all right. All the data types are correct. And if you wanted to make this as a decimal, you can keep it since it is a salary, a decimal, or you can keep it double. Anything is fine. Let me take it as a double. So everything is fine. Let's close this. And you can see the data here, how data is going to be displayed here. Now you can see. The way we have taken the employee, the same way we need to take a department also. So add one more source. I'm going to say SRC department. Let's take a delimited text. Link service. Go to your options. Data files. Input folder. Department.txt. So first is having the header. Let's go to the projection and import scheme. So same to same, the way we have done even in the previous sessions, in the same way I'm just doing for this also. So previously we have taken only one source. Now I'm taking more than one source as we are having two tables. Because if you wanted to get this output, if you wanted to show the data in this particular requirement, then definitely we need to have a joint transformation and we need to have a two data sources. With single data source, you cannot do it. We need to have a two data sources. Okay. So let's take this employee table and select this. And I'm just going to use the join transformation. So join is having the various types of the joins. That is first we are taking to this inner join. So when you see this, you can take only matching records between the source and write stream. So that means source stream is employee and right stream is your department. Our left stream and right stream we are having our left side table, our right side table. So we are going to get only matching records between these two tables. Okay, so we discussed about it, how exactly it is going to be there. Now once you need to select what is your right stream, that is a department, and inner join, what join you wanted to choose, you can select it. And I'm just going to take a common column is department number from the employee table and department number from the department table. From both of them, we are having a department number. Let's close this. Now I'm having only matching records between the two tables. You can see there are three records are there, only three records are sold. Okay, so if we have one more record in the data source, I'll show you how exactly it is going to be there. If there is a match, it is going to take it. If there is no match, then it is not going to take the data from there. So that is how it is going to do it. So only matching records between the two tables. So here I have two departments. Okay, so department employee department number and department number. Okay, so if you want to add them as this, you can add them. And I'm just going to make a sync. But before going to the sync, I wanted to talk about other types of the joins also. So just observe here, the next type of join is a left outer join. So when you go for left outer join, what kind of records you're going to get if it is a left outer join? So whatever the records are there in the inner join, the same records you're going to get. I'll do one thing. Let's add one more tab. So left join, what happens is, whatever is there in the matching, all the matching records you are going to get apart from the matching. So simple, from the left side table, this is a left side table and this is a right side table. All the records from this table, all records from this table and matching records from this particular table. Okay, so all records means what? 101 is already there. 102 is already there. 103 already there. Okay. So only 104 is missing from the employee table. So that record also you are going to get, because all records from the left side table. So this record is going to get it here, but it is not having the appropriate matching in the department table. It is not having the appropriate matching in the department table for this employee. So if this is the case, then how we can do is, let's say comma, and you are going to get a null. Okay, so department name null and location also is null. Okay, you are not going to get the data if it is a left outer join. If there is a match, then only it is going to get the department name. So if there is no match, then you cannot get it. So that is how it is going to get if it is a left outer join. So let's observe here how exactly it is going to be there. When I change this join type, let's go here. I'm just going to select the left outer join. So for left outer join, what definition I have given here? To get all records from the left side table and matching records from other side table. So that means inner join also will be there in the left outer join. Okay. Just close this. I just selected only the type of join. And if you see the result, you can feel how exactly it is going to get. Now you can see 104. Sunday is not having the department details. Nulls are getting. So here also the same thing I'm just showing in the text file. Okay, so when you upload the data, it is going to get something like this. Okay. And if it is a right join, let me take this entire, let me take this inner join, copy, add one more tab, paste it. So this time I wanted to go for a right join. So right join means all records from this table. Okay, so you can see I have a department number 10, I don't have problem. Department number 20, I don't have a problem. Department number 30, I don't have a problem. And this one is not available. Okay, so what happens is, you have to keep something like this. But what about for 40, I don't have any employee in the department number 40. So what happens for employee number here is, it is going to give a blank. Employee name is a blank. Salary is a blank. Gender is a blank. Okay, so day number is a blank. So something like this you are going to get here. Let me keep one more department number from this particular place so that we can have a clear picture. So here 10 comma and here 20 comma, here 30 comma. This is perfect. Okay, so department details are there, but in this department I don't have the employees. So this is the right job. All records from the right side table. All the records are there in this particular result. You can see department number 10, 20, 30 and 40 also is there. So that means all records will come from this table and matching records will come from this table if it is a right outer join. And if it is a full outer join, how exactly it is going to be there? Before that, let me change this join from left outer to right outer and close this and observe the output how exactly it is going to get. This side you will be having department number 40. Also, in the department number 40, we are not having the employees C. And let me take this copy again, add one more tab, paste it here. So this time I'm going to say full join. So full join means left join plus right join. Okay, so all the joins you are going to get. Okay, so this record also is going to get. in this particular place. We already discussed about it. Okay, and this join also will come, this record. Apart from the matching records, you will get this record and you will also get this record. Okay, so this is how it is going to be a full join. You're going to have it. Let me go and change this type of join to full outer. Let's close this. 40 will be there and even other is also going to be there. Now you can see department number 40. 40 is not having the employee details, so you can see all the blanks. And there is a one employee in the department number 50, but department details are not available. Okay, so this kind of join is full auto join. So I'm just going to feed this data into the target. Let's say sync. Let me take a delimited. Let's go to settings. I wanted to say data files, output folder. Inside output folder, I wanted to go for employee underscore full join. No double quote characters. First is going to be header. That's all. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything. Let's close this and publish this. Let's set a new pipeline and take a data flow here and call the data flow. And let's debug it. I just kept two department numbers for comparison purpose. Basically, we can have only one department number. Just to show you side by side how exactly it is getting. For comparison, I took it. If you go and say your target, we have a multiple part files are there. Because when you have a joins, okay, so how we can bring that into the single file, we'll see that by default few partitions are created. Because of that reason, we have a data in different places. I'll do one thing. I'll take out this folder now. Let me rerun it by doing some changes in the data flow. So single partition I'm taking. If you have a single partition, then the entire data will come into the single file. Okay. Let's close this. Because it will run on the parallel, right? So if you have a multiple partitions, then every partition will keep the data in a separate file. Okay, but if you wanted to bring that into the single partition, then you can use the single partition in the target. Let me debug now. Now, if you refresh it, you can find there is only one file. Full AutoGen, 4 records we have it, right? Okay, 101. In the output, if you see, 101 is complete matching is there, and 102 is complete matching is there, and 103 is having complete matching. And here, if you say there is a research and Bangalore is there, and 104 is having only up to 50. Okay, so this is perfectly all right. And this one, here I'm not having the department number if you see. Okay, so I think I have taken out 2 department columns. Okay, so I wanted to say the department number here. Okay, so department number is there, but employee names are not available. Here I don't have any problem. Here I have a problem. Okay, so what you can do is, let me take out this file from here. I'm just doing few changes here in the data flow. I have a 2 columns. Here I have no 2 columns here. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll keep select transformation. We already know it, right? Select transformation is just to take only required columns, or you can also rename the columns. I'm just going to say _1, _2. Let's close this. I'm just renaming those column names. _1 and _2. So if you observe here, in the department number 1, I have a blank here, and I have a 40 here. Okay, so I wanted to get a separate column here. I wanted to create a department number column. If department number 1 is not null, then I wanted to show the same value. Now I have a department number 10. Let's show same 10. And here I have a 20. You just show that. And here I have a 30. You just show 30. But here I have a null. If department number 1 is null, then I wanted to take the department number 40. So 40, I wanted to keep it here. And if it is not null, then 50, I'm going to take it here as it is. So this one I wanted to define. How can we do it? Can anyone write the expression? For this one, I'll give 2 minutes time. By using these 2 columns, just write pseudo expression. Uh, no, not in select statement. I wanted to write one column. How about others? Only two are responded. Wherein, how about if both are, if department two is also null? Hey man, Venkat, we already come across this transformation, derived column transformation. Equivalent expression transformation in informatics is derived column transformation. You try. Okay, so let's try. Okay, so you need to respond this even if it is wrong or right. Okay, so we're all here to learn. Let me take a derived column transformation. I'm just taking the name of the column is D number. Let's go for expression. If I have a Colossi function, I can use Colossi. Okay, so let's try with this Colossi function, or you can use the if function also. D number 1, D number 2. Let's see the output. Okay, now you can see D number is coming. You can use the Colossi function. Okay, so in order to get it, I'm not expecting in a SQL Server, I'm expecting in a data factor itself. So this is an expression you can use. If this is a null, then it will take a value of this. If this is not a null, then automatically the value of this only is going to be taken. Okay, so even if both are nulls, if you wanted to add one more value, then you can add one more thing. Okay, so that is how it is going to work. Instead of this, if you want to go with the if function, if, then you need to check is null of D number underscore 1. So we have to say not, right? I guess it is not. Not is null of this. Not is null of this. Then I wanted to take department number. The else block again you have to write one more condition. one more if function. Not is null of depart number 2. Then you are going to take depart number 2. Something is missing here. Go with one by one. Not of is null of day number underscore 1. If it is null, if it is not null, then I wanted to take day number 1 only. Else I'm just taking a 0 for time being. I'll come back to here. What happened? Bracket is missing. What is missing here? Is null. Okay, return type. What is this data type? Some function is there, convert function. How can you define sort data type? Okay, let me keep null. Type mismatch. I don't think that is sort. Two sort. Look, I have it. I'm just taking a 10. Okay. So I'm just taking some number here. Let me keep a 0 for time being. Let's save and finish. And I wanted to show the output of this. Then we'll come back and we'll see where do you want to change that. Now you can see wherever there is a this is not a null, then I don't have any problem here. And then the problem is only if depart number 1 is null. If it is not null, then it is fine. If this is null, then I have to take a depart number 2. Right? So in the else block, I have to take a depart number 2. Let's come to here, not here. So that means we have a 0, right? We have to take a day number 2. Now this is perfect. So any of the expression you can write it. So when you're comparing only two columns, then I recommend to go with Colesi function. D number underscore 1 comma D number underscore 2. So this is much more easier. And then we have to take a select transformation here to take only required columns again. So here I don't need this depart number 1 and depart number 2. I don't need it. And this column, I'm just going to make this up. The position I'm going to change. Okay, it is already there. It is already moved. Okay, this is perfectly all right. Close this. Now just publish this. Let me redebug it. Before that, I'm just going to remove the file. I don't have any files here. Let's redebug it. Null is not going to be in a single quote. Okay, so that if you keep in a single quote, that will be treated as a text value. Okay, so let it take some time and I'll explain one more use case. So I have an employee table and department. Let me take out this file. Even this also. I have a manager ID also here in this table, same. Okay, so this is a task for you. Let me do one thing. And I have a manager's. I'll attach these files. Okay, so you can take that for practicing. So three are there. Okay, so table 1, table 2, and table 3. My output should be something like this. I'm just going to give for one record. Okay, you have to, I'll give only column structure, what I'm expecting. So I need to have a EMP ID, e-name, salary, gender, and department number. The name, location, manager ID, manager name, and phone number. Okay. So we already done for these two tables, right? Okay. So only thing is we are just going to add one more new column in the file. Just add it, and then the result, entire result is going to join with this table. You can do in different ways. Okay, the common column, when you see here, I have a common column here and common column here. You can join first these two tables. Okay, you can join first these two tables. The result of this table is going to join with this table. So here one join transformation and here one join transformation. Because there will be more number of employees, right? If you join directly with more, then it takes more time. These two tables will be having less number of records. So join this first, these two tables, and then take this join and combine this again one more join here. So here is one join and here is one join. So output will go like this. So since we have a three tables here, we are going to get two joins. Oh my god, why it is still going on? 7 minutes. Something weird. I'll take a single partition here. So that is one output. Okay. And previously we got some output here, right? So extension to this, I wanted to say, is employee is active employee or inactive employee? Status I wanted to keep active, let's say status. The status, how you wanted to define, you can define. I wanted to say this is a active. This is also active. This is also active. Okay, so inactive. And here also inactive. Okay, so how can we say that is a active? Inactive is if employee number is matching, then I mean to say a department number matching between these two different tables, then it is a active. Okay, so that means he is in the project, else it is going to be inactive. So just try for that, how you can define this logic, how you can define this, just try. Set completed. Okay, now it's completed. You can see, if you go here, refresh it, open this file. Now you can see the department number. Okay, so previously department number was not there. Now we have a department. Okay, so this is how we can handle the joins. I'll give few more things. We have a even employee.csv file. Let me take that also. These are all our regular tables, right? So we are using. I wanted to say same type of joining concept to just try for these two files also, employee.csv and department.csv. I'll give that files. Okay. And here also you just try to do whatever we have done for this. The same thing you just try to do with this also. Okay. And apart from that, I wanted to say this is one join. I wanted to say the persons who are getting more than average salary of entire organization. Okay, the average salary is 2000. I wanted to compare each and every one's salary. If this salary is greater than 2000, then I wanted to show those details only. So that means in that case, we are going to use only employee number, employee table. Okay, so just try. I explained in a SQL Server. Just revise your SQL Server joins. I came across it by writing subqueries. I explained how we can do it. Okay, so just try. Otherwise, let me show it in a SQL Server and you just try from the data factory. So that will be better. Let's go for source. Select from employee. This is going to be star. Okay, so select star from employee. And I wanted to get average salary. Select AVG of salary as salary from employee. So this is the average salary. If this salary, if I apply the filter where a salary greater than this, then you can get it, right? So this records you have to get it. First you need to get the average salary. And that average salary you have to give it to this particular place. You have to bring it to here. Okay, so this one is going to change. Right, if it is going to be changed, then you have to say this open a bracket and close a bracket. So same records it is going to get it. Okay, otherwise you can do one more thing. Up to here, there is one table, cross join. You can take this table again here. This entire thing should be there in the bracket because this is going to be one table. If I execute this, what happened? As T, now you can see how data is getting. So on top of this, you can apply a filter, select star from entire table, where salary greater than. So I'm just going to give AVG salary here. Now you can see. Okay, so either one of the way you can try to utilize. Okay, I'll keep the script in the note. Just try to do the same thing with the data factory. Okay. So I'm stopping here. If you have any question, you can ask me. You can unmute yourself. So did you understand what we talked about it today? So joint concepts is very important in the interview point of view. There is more chances to ask a questions.
Yeah, Bhaskar, this is Venkat.
Yeah, Venkat.
Yeah, see, yeah, if you can go for ADF, right? So there, after join before the sync, we have used two times, right? Select transformation. So can't we adjust our fields in join transformation?
No, we don't have feasibilities.
Okay. So after derived also we should take a select transformation.
Yeah, we can take at any place. In joint transformation, we don't have any control. See, we don't have any control on the number of columns. But when it comes to the select transformation, we have a control. Okay.
Okay. So after, in the derived also, if I didn't take uh, select between derived and sync, what it will be?
Here we are creating one new column, right?
Okay, so that's okay. So
after taking these columns, I'm taking out again this two columns. Depart number underscore 1 and 2 is not available now here. We remove them.
okay. Coming to performance wise, how it will be impact if we add these select transformations under?
That will not impact. It is not doing any transformation, right? It is just taking required columns and removing. That's not going to. That's not going to impact. Moreover, it is going to improve because we are reducing the number of columns here. So here to differentiate the columns, I'm taking this.
So, but here, I think whatever we observed, even direct we can add files also, right?
Yes, we can add files also.
But usually, I mean, there will be some criteria like homogeneous and non-homogeneous sources.
That also
So
is
here,
possible. That is also
yeah,
possible. That is
yeah,
just
here,
asking what kind of data source you want. From where do you want to take it? That we need to specify.
okay. So in this case, for example, SRC implies the file only. SRC department is the table
You
coming
can
from
take it.
database. Can
Just
we
connection
write?
only, right? Just connection only, right?
Yeah, we can directly we can connect to joint transformation, right? Without any
Yeah.
issues.
Without any issues, we can.
Okay, but coming to other tools, right? So there will be a problem.
Yes, in SSIS we have a problem. We have to sort the data or something like that. It is
Yeah, even in Informatica also, we should not give connection to direct joiner transformation.
okay.
So that's why I'm asking here.
Okay, no, we can.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Anything?
Viren gets it.
Yeah, Viren.
So we have a regular class or kind of sessions on doubts clarification. Because I have a couple of questions I don't want to ask today. We have it tomorrow.
We have it tomorrow. Okay, so we have a session. After completion of the doubts, I'll take a session also.
Okay. So I'll do
Okay.
this. Meanwhile, I'll practice this exercise and
Okay.
because
And-
any issues.
yeah.
I have around 10 questions. Like
Okay,
I just
then
want
we can spend time on tomorrow.
that is what I'm thinking. Thank you.
And keep in mind, if you have a pipelines, like if it is a theoretical, that is fine. But if it is a practical, if you have a pipeline, then it is easy. If you can share your pipeline. I mean to say
Yeah,
this.
most of them are related to the theoretical only, sir. Like
Okay.
the part major tricky question is like expression. So how to pass the expression? That is what the big concern. Because sometimes we are getting the refresh option, but sometimes we are unable to see that refresh option after building the expression.
Okay, so okay, understand. I'll give the answer. So basically, when you
Yeah,
write
that
an
is what, sir.
expression,
Mhm.
always try to open Notepad
Mhm.
plus. That will
Mhm.
give better syntax. Okay, so when you write a syntaxes also, it is going to be much more easier to write the syntaxes. Okay, so if I do the same thing directly there, it will be little difficult. Okay, so sometimes, not sometimes, many times I used to go with this particular thing. If you know the syntax, come here and write it and again paste it there. So that will be the best practice.
Okay, sir. Because yesterday I tried for substring.
Yeah.
If it is a SQL directly, we can start the any point we can give. But in a
Yeah.
here, I'm getting
Here we don't have it. We don't have that kind of options. Okay,
yeah,
so
that is what, sir.
basically in SSIS we have a option. There itself we can
There we can pass the
pass the expression and we
yeah.
can see the output. But here we don't have it.
And sometimes refresh option also. Sometimes it's enabling and sometimes not enabling.
If the expression is correct, then only it will be enabled. So if the expression is not perfect, then it will not enable.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I'll
We'll say
talk about this tomorrow,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, we'll talk more in detail then.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
Is class happened yesterday?
No, it was a
Okay,
holiday.
okay.
I kept in classroom. A message I kept. I asked them. So they told it was a holiday. So I kept.
Okay.
We got the message, sir. Thank you.
Today only this. Okay then. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, please. Question?
I have sent the logics for this month name and also.
Yeah, the logics are correct. Okay, so you asked roughly questions related to interviews, but I don't have in handy the questions. Okay, so I'll try to prepare 3 questions this weekend. I'll give it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you, man. We'll see you tomorrow.